Just a word of warning before we start. eBay is not for the faint of heart. You must be this tall to view this video. Please keep your seatbelt fastened and maintain a firm grip on the safety bar. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mark Lemon's Postcards. Ellie and Lucy, the postcard pups, as well as myself, say hello and welcome back to our channel. We're here to talk about what things sold on eBay over the past week, and we're going to do that. We continue to ride that eBay roller coaster. Last week we were a little bit down. The week before that we were up, and this week we're back up again. So we just keep the ride going. And I have to admit, before I started doing this channel and doing these weekly looks at the sales over the past week, I never really noticed it that much. Just going from day to day, you don't probably notice the swings up and down as much as you do when you look at them on a regular basis. And it's not that I don't pay attention to my sales and that kind of thing, but it just wasn't as focused on that, so I didn't notice it as much. But it's okay, because it all works out in the end. It all balances out on the end. So you don't want to get too focused on a day or a week if you have a slow period, because tomorrow is going to be different, and the day after that is going to be different, and the week ago was different from then. So it's all kind of relative, I guess. So before we get started, I want to do that one more time. That's cool. Before we get started, I want to ask you, if you enjoy these videos, please give us a like. It's going to pop up on the screen there somewhere. And that helps us to grow and reach more people. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do that as well, because for the same reason, it helps us to grow and reach more people with the content that is based on collecting and selling and just enjoying postcards. As always, we welcome your comments as well, and we enjoy having you with us. So let's get started. Well, my beanie fell off, and it's on the floor down there somewhere, so I'm just going to have to continue without it. But that's okay. Look kind of silly anyways. So, our sales for the past week on eBay, we sold a total of $989.44. That was up 66% from last week. As I said, we're riding those dips. And our quantity sold was 121 items. That was up 75%. So, for us, yeah, another extreme change in the weather, I guess you would say. We were up quite a bit there. But our average sale price here was $8.18, and that was only 5% different from last week. So that pretty much maintained. So that's sort of interesting, I guess. But let's now take a look at what makes up these numbers. As always, I'm not going to show you 121 items because I'm afraid we would both fall asleep by the end of that. So I just tried to pick out an interesting selection of various kind of postcards just to show you the variety of what sells and what... Excuse me? Oh, that was just my phone. It's a new phone, and it's still doing things I don't understand. So, could happen again. Anyway, trying to show you a variety of the kind of things that sell, and if you're looking to sell or are a seller, that you could sell as well. So, it's amazing what you can sell on eBay as far as postcards go, and what people are interested in and what they'll buy. So, don't ever think that when you look at a postcard, nobody would want this, because you might be surprised. Anyway, here we go. First card up. If you noticed, week before last, I had a buyer come in who bought a whole bunch of military-related things, mostly ships. Well, he came back again this week, which was a huge help to us. This is one of the cards he bought. He bought quite a few, so I'm not going to show you. I'll just show you this one as an example. This is the USS Saratoga. It is an aircraft carrier. And this is a real photo postcard, as you can see looking at the back. It is not postal used. And that one sold for $4.95. And I said this buyer did come back and buy quite a few more postcards. This particular day of the week, he purchased 29 more postcards, all military related. Well, almost all. There was one that wasn't. And that was a total of $131. So that was a nice way to start the week there. Next up, now these are different buyers, not the same buyer. This is in Portland, Maine. This is the Casco Bay Portland Head Lighthouse and a grounded ship, as you can see there. The lighthouse at the left. There's a ship ground on the rocks there, so not a good situation for that boat. This is a white border error card. It was postally unused. It's a nice clean condition. And that one, I believe that one was listed for $5.95. I took an offer of $5. And as I go through these, I also hope to remember one of our viewers mentioned to me that they enjoy when I point out how long a card has been listed on eBay. And that is interesting. I still have some in my store that go back as far as 2011. So that's 14 years. And you might say, why don't you take those off? There's no point in it. It doesn't cost me any more to have them there or not have them there. And and they do sell occasionally. I still sell old cards. So you never know when a new collector is going to come along and be looking for stuff that they've never seen before. And so they do sell. And so I look at it, if anything, if it sells, an old card sells, at least I'm getting a little bit of my money back that I had invested in having it in my store all these years. So I'm going to try to point that out as we go through this if I notice anything interesting. This card has only been listed since July of last year, so for me that's very recent. And anyway, I said that one sold for an offer of $5. Next up here we have a view in Williamsport, PA. This one is a view on Pine Street. And you can see some horse-drawn vehicles. There's a fellow pulling a little wagon there. And way down the street there, you can see a trolley coming up the street, which was pretty common back at this time, early 1900s. This is a divided back card. It was not posted. This one I had listed for $7.95, and I took an offer of $7. This one was listed just like 3 weeks ago, March of this year. Here's a view in Allentown, Pennsylvania, similar to the last view we just looked at. This is a view on Hamilton Street, looking west from the courthouse. And again, we see some antique automobiles and a couple trolleys coming up the street there. I don't see any horse-drawn. So this one obviously is a little newer. It's a white border card. It is not posted either. Got a little shadowing there on the back. But overall, pretty nice shape. That one sold for $5.95. That one was listed in December of 2024. Here is something that is not a postcard. This is an automobile sales brochure. This one is for a 1966 Mustang. I picked a handful of these up recently from someone who I buy from regularly. I thought they were very interesting. And so I thought I'd try something a little new. I'm not going to switch from selling postcards, but occasionally I dabble in something that I think is kind of interesting. And as you can see as we look through, this is a dealer sales brochure, the kind you would get at the dealer when you're contemplating purchasing a new car. And here you see the vehicles in the Mustang in different models, so to speak, different colors. And of course, it is speaking about the advantages of purchasing such a car. Pretty cool brochure overall. This one sold for $25.95. That was my asking price, plus shipping, and that I listed 2 weeks ago. Here's a kind of a greetings postcard. This is just a couple cute children, as I titled it, cute children with dog and baskets of flowers. Sometimes when you have postcards that don't have titles or information, you just make it up based on what you see. And I saw 2 children and a dog and baskets of flowers. So that's what I called it. So this is one of your regular greeting type cards. As you see, these can sell. They are attractive, and there are collectors out there for these. This is a divided back card. It was posted in 1909. It is embossed, as you can see there. And that one, I believe that one is listed for $5.95. I think I took an offer of $5 on that one as well. And that one was listed in November of last year. Next up, I sold 2 lots of 100 cards each to the same buyer. The first lot here, as you can see, it consists of 100 assorted cards. They are from mixed eras. They are all U.S. states and towns and views and such. Here's a view in Salem, Massachusetts, Chicago, Mackinac Island in Michigan. There's a view, railroad view in Colorado. There's a view in, says Stevenson County Courthouse. Not sure where that is. And there's a cruise ship there. So a nice assortment of 100 cards. That lot sold for $21.95 plus shipping. That was listed just this past February, so about a month ago. And the same buyer, as I said, bought a second lot. Where did it go? Oh, I must have missed it. Anyway, we'll go back to that one. They bought 2 lots. I thought I had popped them both up here, but maybe I missed that one. And the second lot also, same thing, assorted mixture of mixed eras, U.S. state town views, and the such, 100 cards, which also sold for $21.95 plus shipping. And I was able to combine the shipping for this buyer and ship them both together for the same cost as one. Next up, we have a view in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Mississippi is not a card that I see often, or a state, that I see often. I wouldn't call them rare, but they are certainly not plentiful either. This is a view of Cherry Street looking north from the Bomar residence. And you can see a trolley there in the middle of the street, and kind of comes to a point there where we have a kind of a Y in the street, and the trolley appears to be going to the left there. This is a divided back card. It is not posted. Pretty nice, clean condition. And this one was listed for $9.95. I took an offer of $8 on that. This one listed in just past February. Here is another automobile brochure. We looked at one a couple minutes ago. This one also, same. I got it from the same source. This is a fold-out brochure for a 1956 Chevrolet, I'll say Bel Air. There were different models, I guess, but Bel Air. Here, this is the front cover, and as I say, it opens up into about 6 different panels. Here's a couple different views. Here are more models and colors. And this is the brochure fully opened up on the inside and fully opened up on the outside, showing your different models, the colors, specifications, what have you. So pretty interesting, I thought. I have owned two 57 Chevrolets. I don't have them anymore, but I did at one time, as well as some other interesting cars. But I'm not into that anymore, unfortunately. And so I'm kind of fond of this era of Chevrolets, the 55 through 57. I really like those. And so this, I thought this was a very neat brochure. And it sold for $12.95. And let's see, I listed that one just 2 weeks ago. Next up, I knew it's here somewhere. Okay, another buyer who bought two lots. Let me see. Okay, I actually have them both this time. Again, 100 vintage mixed cards, mixed eras, but all U.S. states town views. There's no foreign cards in here. Here's a view in Indianapolis. Mount Clemens, Michigan, no relation to me. This is Valley Forge, PA. There's the Alpine Motel in Rapid City. That's South Dakota. And a view in Detroit, Michigan. Here's a view in New York City. So, as I said, an assortment of cards, 100 to be precise, sold for $21.95 plus shipping. That one was listed in November of last year. And the second lot, again, a mixture of U.S. views and eras. We have Hartford, Connecticut, a military scene of some guys doing some exercises. Here's another view at Valley Forge. There's a large linen of Valley Forge. There's a view in Youngstown, Ohio, and then Atlantic City, New Jersey. So again, an assortment, sold for $21.95 plus shipping. As I said, same buyer bought two lots. I was able to combine the shipping and ship two for the price of one, which was nice for him and me as well. And that one was also listed in November of last year. Here is a scene in Buckhannon, West Virginia. This is a view looking down College Avenue. It is a real photo postcard. You can see it is an undivided back. It is not used. This one was an auction, up for auction, and I listed it at $19.95. It received two bids, but from the same bidder, and no one challenged them, so that's what it ended at, $19.95. And that one was listed just about 2 weeks ago. Then we have a view in Greensburg here, my hometown. This is Thomas's greenhouse, which at one time was a very large florist in this area. These were their greenhouses where they raised their flowers and things. This is a real photo card. See, it's got a little bit of wear on the back. It was not used. And here's the view again on the front. That one also I put up for auction. It received one bid, sold for $19.95. Here's a view of a Herr's snack food truck. You may or may not be familiar with Herr's snacks, depending on what part of the country you're from. But around this area, in Pennsylvania at least, Herr's is a very popular maker of snack foods like potato chips and, I don't know what all they make, but potato chips is the main thing, and they make other snacks as well. This is one of their delivery trucks. This is a Chrome Era card. It is not posted. And I thought that was kind of cool. This card sold for $7.95. It's been listed for about a month. Okay, here is a folder. These don't normally sell well, and I don't, even though I have boxes of them, I don't have a whole lot of them up for sale on eBay because they just don't sell very well generally. But I thought this was interesting. This is a mini folder. It's much smaller than your regular size folder, which is about continental size, 6x4. This one, I think I have the dimensions down here. Yeah, it's 4 inches by 3 inches. so it's smaller than your standard one, and it was in a West Virginia town. West Virginia does tend to sell pretty well for me. So here's the front cover, back cover, some of the interior views there you can see. I generally don't show a lot of these if I do have a folder listed, but in this case I thought it would be more interesting, and I originally listed this folder for $14.95. It was listed last September of 2024, and I received an offer of $11.50, and I happily accepted that. Next up is an actress. This is Elsie Janis. She was an American actress and singer, and here on the card we see her in a couple of her stage roles. Here on the left it says she as Dorothy Willits. I'm not sure who Dorothy Willits is. And in the other one, I can't read, it says in the Vanderbilt something. And I can't read that. But then in the center, there's a picture of her, like a close-up picture of her face. On the back, we can see that it is divided back, posted in 1907. And I sold this one for $9.95, listed last September. Here is a set of cards all to the same buyer. 4 cards to the same buyer, all from the same town, Palmerton, Pennsylvania, which I believe is out generally in the vicinity of Allentown, Pennsylvania. So it's out in the eastern part of the state. This first one is a view at the center of the park, it says. It is divided back, not posted, but does have writing. And as you can see, it has some water staining there on the back. It doesn't really seem to affect the front much, but you can see it clearly on the back. So that's the first one of 4 that this buyer purchased for $9.95. These I listed just last Tuesday. So this past Tuesday, that hasn't been on very long at all. Next one they bought is a view of Palmerton and the Lehigh Gap, kind of a bird's eye view. Again, same era, divided back, again with that water stain on the back, not posted. And you can see some of that staining a little bit through on the front there. This one sold for $14.95. Here we have a view on 4th Street in front of the Horsehead Inn, looking down the street, and somebody has written in Horsehead Inn on here. This is 4th Street, again, divided back. It's got the water stain on the back. On the front, I don't see the water staining so much, but there is a little bit of damage up here at the top edge. But it's not too bad. It doesn't affect the card too much. That one sold for $5.95. And the last one of the 4 sold, again, Palmerton, PA. This is the Horsehead Inn. We are just looked at the street that runs in front of this. Well, this is the Horsehead Inn. Looking up at it, divided back, postally unused, but does have the writing. You can see the staining again on the back, and on the front you can see it up here too. And somebody wrote on here, my room. So they were staying in this room when they sent this group of cards to somebody back in the early 1900s. So that was a total of 4 cards to the same buyer, and their total investment in those was $41. So that was a nice grouping sale there. And as I said, all of those were just listed this past week. Here's a view at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California. This is the ghost town and the burrito train. This view was around 1965. That's when it was posted. It's a Chrome era card. I have quite a few different Knott's Berry Farm cards, and they sell occasionally. Not bad sellers, not good sellers, just kind of run-of-the-mill average sellers. That one sold for $5.95. I listed that in September of last year. Here's a view in Afton, New York. This is the suspension bridge. You can see it's a divided back, unposted, nice clean condition. This one sold for $7.95. I listed that a year ago in February of 2024. This is a little unusual card. This is a view in Vacaville, California, and it says the Nut Tree Airport and Railroad. So you can see there's a lot of planes, small planes in the background. So this is an airport, and then there's also a little, like a miniature train that takes people, I'm not sure where, takes them somewhere, maybe to a parking lot or something. I don't know. It's a chrome era card. It is unused. And it says, arriving at the Nut Tree by air. The Nut Tree Railroad dispatches a special to greet every plane that lands at the 2,500-foot runway. The Nut Tree restaurant also serves travelers. So interesting card. This one was posted back in August of 2022, so it's been on a couple years, and it eventually sold here this past week for $9.95. Now, my ship buyer returned yet again this week was to purchase a new batch of cards, and this is one of them that he purchased. This, as you can see here, it says submarines alongside of the mothership. So this, I guess, is the mothership over here on the far right, and it's a pretty cool view of some submarines there. You can see they have all surfaced, and there's sailors walking around on them doing various things. And that's a really cool view. This is an official photograph of the U.S. Navy. It is a, I'm going to say it's like around the World War I era, maybe white border card, or I guess it could be divided back. It is a divided back card, but the texture of the card looks a little newer than that, so I'm a little unsure of the age. But regardless, I had this one priced at $14.95 because I love the submarines. I thought it was a great view. This particular buyer asked me to reconsider my pricing on a couple cards, and being that he bought so many cards over the past few weeks, I had to take him up on that. So I accepted an offer of $10 on this card. And this one was, listed in July of last year. And then he went on to buy 22 more cards this particular day for a total of $134. So 2 times this past week he bought 20 or more cards, and for a total of approximately $130 each time. So he does make up a significant portion of my my sales for the week. So my hat's off to him. I don't know if the gentleman was watching my channel or not, but if he is, thank you very much for your purchases. I appreciate them very much, and I'm glad you were able to find so much in my store for your collection. I'm happy to have that available to you. So thanks again. Next up, that's another automobile type brochure. They seem to be selling pretty well. This one is for Federal Trucks. Again, it's like a dealer sales brochure. This is the cover. And as you flip through the pages, you see the different models. And I just think these old vehicles are cool. And I love the colors and the graphics of these older brochures. And it's really just interesting to look at. So this one is like, let me flip down here. Yeah, it's like 20 pages in this book. So a lot to look at in there. And that one sold for $19.95 plus shipping. Just listed it a couple days ago. Here's one I've had for a while. This says bedtime, and you can see a little boy crawling up the stairs there with his candle. So that was a long time ago when people needed to get around with candles. It is a, going to have to call it, well, I don't know. See, it does have a white border, but it could be older than that. It's definitely divided back. And could be white border, could be divided back, somewhere in there. Still early 1900s. This one sold for $5.95. Like the other one I showed you earlier, greeting, it says bedtime. That's the only word on it. So I described it as a little boy climbing the stairs in his little nighties. As you can see, his kind of butt hanging out the back there. So this one was listed in November of 2017. So that's a little over 7 years ago. But it sold. So that's an example of an older card that could still sell. Here, this actually was purchased by my military ship buyer. I'm not sure what Marilyn Monroe's relationship to military postcards is. But anyway, he purchased this card also in that pile of stuff that he bought. And if you recall, some months back, I bought a big box full of Marilyn Monroe postcards, and this was one of them. This one sold for $5.95. It is was printed in 1990. It's a Continental card. It's not that old, actually, but it does have a nice view of Marilyn on there. So that one sold for $5.95. Here we have a Kewpie. This is a New Year's Kewpie signed by artist Rosie O'Neill. Now, this is an authentic card. This is not a reproduction of this. This is an authentic Rosie O'Neill signed postcard. And you can see the Kewpies on there with their candlesticks. It is divided back. It is unused. And you can see the Gibson logo up there. Gibson did publish a lot of her stuff. And I point this one out because I screwed up on this one. This one has been in my store since August of 2021. So a couple years. That's not really that old to me, but a couple years. I had it listed for $19.95, and I was looking to make some offers, and I intended to reduce this to $14.95. Somehow, when I was doing that, I screwed up, and I ended up selling this for $5. So I have to say this is a really good buy. This card is in very nice, clean, sharp condition. So this is an excellent card for that price. The buyer really got a deal. I'm not going to cry about it. That was just a silly mistake on my part. I don't even know how that happened, but it did. And so enjoy this card. You got a really good buy here. So goodbye to the Kewpies, and we'll see you again. Here's another card that I did the same thing with. I have had this card since, here you go, 2012. February of 2012. So that's 13 years. This card has been in my store, and it's gotten very little interest at all. I think it's a great card. It says J.E. Williams Central Shoe Shop, machine and hand sewed, and there's a gentleman in the doorway over here and a woman in this doorway over here. It is a real photo. Somebody had written on here Scranton, PA. Now there's nothing on the front of the card that identifies it, so I have to assume whoever wrote Scranton knew what they were talking about, and this is located in Scranton, PA. That's all I have to go by. So I thought it was a pretty good, cool real photo postcard. But over the past 13 years, it hasn't got much attention. It also was listed for $19.95. I meant to drop it to $14.95, but like the Kewpie card, I somehow accidentally made it $5, and that got some interest. It sold very quickly. So, again, pretty nice card, pretty good deal for the buyer. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And I guess after 13 years, I'm just glad to see it go. So kudos to you. Getting near the end here, we have a buyer who purchased 2 cards, both with a religious theme. This one is Deliver Us from Evil, a excerpt from the Lord's Prayer. And you can see that that is on the bottom of the card down here. Deliver us from evil, and it continues with a portion of the prayer there. Divided back, embossed card, nice clean condition. That one sold for $4.95. And the same buyer also bought this one. This says, Our Father who art in heaven. Again, an excerpt from the Lord's Prayer. It is, again, divided back. It's embossed, nice clean condition. There you can see the couple sitting at the table, and I'll assume they are reading their Bible there. So a second religious themed card to the same buyer also sold for $4.95. So that's a total of $9.90 for 2 cards. And looks like our last card for this week that we're going to look at. This is in Sharon, Pennsylvania. This is Buell Rifles Armory. And the name Buell pops up on Sharon postcards a couple times. There was a gentleman named Frank Buell who was a businessman who established a couple things there in Sharon. And so he was well known in that town. And so some things were named after him. This is a white border card. It does have a message on the back, but it doesn't appear to be actually postally used. White border. That one was listed for $6.95. I took an offer of $5.75, and that one was listed since May of last year. So that's it for what sold this week.
Howdy, and thanks for stopping by. I'll gas up your car for you and check the oil. There's plenty of grub in the lunchroom. If you're tired, we have comfy cabins that look just like little windmills.
Okay, so today we are going to take a look at some pretty cool gas station postcards. And I'm kind of trying a new way of doing this because in the past I've just used my scans off of the scanner, but I thought the picture could be bigger so you could see them better and see the detail on the cards better. So I am going to try this approach, and hopefully this works. It does appear a lot nicer picture, bigger, easier to see. And I have minimized myself way down in the corner here. You see I'm going to float around the screen. But then in the interest of paying attention to the card and not me, I'm going to plop myself back down here. So this way, I won't interfere with the view of the card. So anyway, first up is a pretty cool multi-view card, a Linen era card. This is Mary's Ranch in Deerfield, Ohio. And we can see over here the motel portion of Mary's Ranch, and then down here at the bottom we see a restaurant. I see a Coca-Cola sign. Really, it's a little blurry, but I can still make out Coca-Cola. And there are some gas pumps there, so therefore Mary's qualifies as a gas station in my collection. And so that's a pretty nice card there. Next up, we have William S. Watson Service Station in Sandy Creek, New York. This is a cool old black and white view. Here's an old automobile here to the left. Looks like something, looks like 30s era to me. We've got the white border. And up here is the Esso station. You can see the Esso sign there. This is probably where they lived, in the house behind the station right here. That wasn't uncommon. And here are the gas pumps over here on the far right. Got some tires out, so I guess you could get some tires there. Maybe they even do a little bit of service work, not sure. But a pretty nice black and white view there. Next we have McFarland's Self-Service Store and Cecil's Service Station. And this was located in Cloverdale, Virginia. And up here you can see the signage. It says McFarland's Self-Service Store. And I guess that was one of your early versions. If you recall, stores used to be general stores. You'd go in and you'd tell the clerk what you wanted and they would get it for you and, put your order together and total it up. But here at this time, this was a relatively new concept. We actually just go into the store, look and grab the stuff you want and bring it to the clerk. So that was, today we take that for granted. That's what you do in stores, but it wasn't always that way. So self-service was something new at the time. Here you can see the signage says groceries, fresh meats. There are your gas pumps out front, and here is the little service station over here to the right. So again, a Linden era card, pretty cool. That place was Cloverdale, 7 miles north of Roanoke, Virginia, to give you a better idea of where that was. And on the back of this card, even though I'm not showing you the backs, is it's a non-postcard back. It is a postcard size, but non-postcard back. On the back, it has mileages or distances to, a whole ton of places on the back. So that's kind of interesting. Here's another black and white view. This is the Nemacolin Inn. It is east of Washington, Pennsylvania, in a little area called Bealsville, PA. This is actually, if you've ever heard of Nemacolin, is a resort. This would be about where that is now. I don't believe this station exists anymore, but this is a cool black and white view for sure. Here you see a sign with Nemacolin. Over here onto the left says Nemacolin Inn and a big Coke button on top there. Here's your gas pumps out front. Looks like they might carry a couple different brands. That looks like a Quaker State sign back there. And there's also, it says home cooking restaurant there. So a little bit of something for everyone. Again, nice, looks like a Chrome era card. Nice view there. Here's a cool one. This one says, stop and meet Jim and Midnight at the Elderberry Inn Service. This was located, where was this located? It says 25 miles east of Seaside, 60 miles west of Portland. So, is that Oregon or is that Maine? I'm not sure. I should have researched that first, but I don't know. But I love the card. It's a very bright red. It shows up a little bit orangish on here, but it's more red on the actual card. And there is Jim and Midnight that well, at first I thought it was a dog, but the closer I look, looks like a little bear. There he is, like a bear cub. So that is really cool. 24-hour service, emergency service. There you see all kind of oil cans stacked up behind them. That is to me, a very cool roadside card. Here's another black and white. This is the Rozier's Auto Repair Shop in East Jaffrey, New Hampshire. They do electrical and carburation work, a specialty. And there you see a gentleman at work doing something. Here's some various machinery to accomplish these auto repairs. This looks like a state-of-the-art diagnostic center here. Actually got a couple of them. Got some Pennzoil cans there. Neat sign on the wall. There's some pennants in the back. So a lot going on in that picture. That is actually a real photo card. Next up, we have the Susquehanna Trail Top Park. So Trail Top Park, and that is located in, I don't know where actually. It doesn't say on the card. But we can see obviously a restaurant type building there with some signs. It says barbecue, sodas, cigars, and cigarettes, ice cream, coffee, and the like. We have your gas pumps out front there. It is a kind of a blue sky version with a black and white card with a blue sky. And it's got a little bit of writing that's been washed out. It's a little bit of damage, but doesn't take away from the card too much to me. Again, nice view, nice close-up view of the gas pumps. Another black and white. This is Forsyth Service. Excuse me, I stumble over my own tongue quite often. Forsyth Service Station at Mundy's Corner, Pennsylvania. Pretty cool. Again, like the one we looked at a little while ago, there's your service station and there's a house right there. So no doubt the person who ran the service station lived right there on the premises. And there you see him, probably the owner there standing. There's a couple fellas standing. One of them's probably the owner. Some old vehicles and gas pumps, Atlantic sign there. And here's even a Coke sign way over here on the right. There's a Coca-Cola sign. So you'll see those often in these roadside views. And I want to mention Mundy's Corners is been there a few times. It's north of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and it is just a very tiny little town. And postcards from there are few and far between. And this is one of them. And this is a pretty cool card right here. I like this one a lot. Here's a Lennon era card. This is Heishman's Sunoco Service and Restaurant at New Kingston, PA. Lot to see here. Here looks like an auto carrier with some automobiles loaded on it. Most could be new cars. I don't know. There's a Sunoco sign, and there's air-conditioned restaurant sign there. Got some Sunoco gas pumps over here to the right. So colorful and lots to see in that card. Next up, we have a black and white blue sky, I would call it. Again, it's a black and white view, but the sky is blue. Hey, that rhymes. The black and white view, but the sky is blue. It is a blue sky card. This is Stuckey's Pecan Station in Unadilla, Georgia. The Stuckey's was a chain, I believe, and they had multiple locations, and they were famous for their pecans. Now, I've heard these pronounced pecans, pecans, and pecans. So I don't know what your preference is, and I don't know what the correct one is. I say pecan. So anyway, this is Stuckey's Pecan Station. You can see some old automobiles there and some older cars. Looks like, again, 30s era cars out front. Next up, Lennon. Sorry, hit my microphone. Another Lennon card, colorful one. This is Conoco Service Station in Dalhart, Texas. And there we see the Conoco signs there. Got some automobile in the service bay. Here's a car over here probably getting gassed up. And an attendant. A nice colorful Lennon card. And again, like one of the previous cards, this one on the back has mileages to various places from here in Dalhart. As going south, going southwest, north, northwest, southeast, and on some various highways from there, including Route 66. Here is a scene in McAlester, Oklahoma. This is Green Gables service station, I guess we would call it. This is a what is this? It looks like it could be white, might be linen. No, white border, I think. White border card. There you see the sign for Green Gables. I'm going to assume you, let's read it, and then we'll know for sure. It says, 2 miles south, Highway 69, clean, cool, modern cottages, private hot and cold showers and flush toilets, shady lawn, nice playground, lunches, cold drinks, reasonable rates. and Konoko products, like the last card. So again, lots, everything there to meet your needs when you're traveling back in the day. Another linen card. This is Johnson Brothers Oil Company in Gladstone, Michigan. Texaco sign there to the far right. Here we've got a cool sign. Looks like a neon. Says gas. And again, mentions Texaco there. There's your service station. Couple pumps out front. And a nice linen card there. Here's another white border. This is Fort Hunter Park Service Station, 6 miles north of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So very colorful. Big sign on the roof there, Fort Hunter Park Service Station. They sell golf products. Lots of pumps out front there and a portico. So gassing up when it's raining, you don't have to get wet while you're getting your gas. Again, nice colorful view. Looks like a 30s era automobile over there, which would be fitting with the white border card. Here's another linen. This is Fletcher's service station at Bay City, Michigan. Here are your pumps here to the left. Big sign on the roof. Also says sporting goods, which is an interesting thing to sell at a service station. I haven't seen that before. That's a little unusual. Here's a gentleman, looks like an attendant, leaning against the building here. And some old automobiles. It's a nice linen card. Here is a cool one. This is the Dutch Mill Village in Glasgow, Kentucky. And you can see in the background little cottages that all look like windmills where you could stay. So you could stay in a windmill. Tell everybody, hey, I stayed in a windmill. Did you ever do that? Who can say that they've done that? And then out front here we have the service station. Got gas pumps, SO gas they sell. And they also have a little restaurant, diner. Says barbecue, dinners, lunch. So you can get something to eat there. You can stay overnight. You can get something to eat, gas up your car, ready to go to the next card. And the next one is a black and white. This is West Winds in Preston Hollow, New York. This is not a real photo. It's a printed view, but they sell Sinclair gas. And you can see the big sign there. A sign like this on a pole like this would be highly sought after day and worth lots and lots of money. And there are your gas pumps. And there is no doubt where you could go in and eat. I can't see what these signs say over there, but I'm sure that's a restaurant as well. Then we go this is a real photo card. This is a cool one. This is Adirondack Fox Farm in Warrensburg, New York. This is a cool one. Look at the signs over here. Chocolate milk, hot dogs, Gulf gas. It says this is the Adirondack Fox Farm. Lunches, candy, cigars, refreshments, and groceries. And here's a couple people standing out front. Maybe the owner and his wife. And here we have a little... I don't know what they do there's a little building over here with some windows, like where they would serve you something, and there's your gas pumps there. And again, probably they lived in this, at least in the upstairs of this building. Maybe was the restaurant part in the lower floor? I don't know. But a very nice real photo view there. Another black and white. This is a view on Main Street in Highland Lake, Maine. And they've got a service station. It says R.H. Bailey Store, Coca-Cola. Again, got a phone booth there. You don't see those much anymore either. Sell mobile gas. There's your pumps. A little bit more modern looking station by judging from the pumps. And the car is definitely a 60s era. Looks like a Chevrolet. And that is a chrome era view there. That one was posted in 1977. Then we have, another cool real photo. This is Horse Creek store at Horse Creek, California. And here you see a couple ladies. They are gassing up. They are, looks like a 55 Chevrolet. And they are putting gas in there. There's the pumps right there. They got a store in there. Got hunting supplies, groceries, fishing supplies as well. General merchandise. A really nice real photo card. Another real photo card. This is Lennox service station in Lennox, Pennsylvania. And again, I love the signage on these old places. Gas and oil, sandwiches, hot coffee, restaurant. And there's your Coke sign, groceries, some gas pumps, some tires leaning up against the wall. And just a very nice real photo card. Another real photo. This is a view of Ed's Lunch and Motel in Scanlon, Minnesota. I wish I can't zoom in on these because of the particular format I'm using. So I hope you can see these well to see the detail. It says Ed's Lunch, couple Coca-Cola buttons there on each side of the sign. Another one over this side of the building says hamburgers and french fries. Motel, restroom. So obviously there's the restaurant portion, and maybe these looks like these could be some rooms of the motel there, and maybe some more on the other side. Can't really see, but a nice, cool real photo. Another real photo. This says Tumble in Etcherman. Is that what they say? Etcherman, Michigan. And again, there's your older, like 40s era cards there. Tumble in, mobile gas. So again, got a restaurant and got gas there. There's pumps. There's a gentleman pumping gas right there. So nice real photo. And looks like this is the last one for today, and it's a cool one. So we'll end on a pretty cool one. Although I think they were all pretty great, don't you? This is Camp Joy at Kadoka in South Dakota. Now this photo it is a little blurry. It's not my scan. The photo actually looks like that. But there you see your cars. You see mobile gas there, Standard Oil, cabins, cafe. We got ice, cafe again, malts, hamburger, steaks, fried shrimp, roast beef, turkey, pork, approved restaurants, and linen towel service. So I don't know what this building is. It looks like a huge tower with at least what we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories, and it looks like it might be higher than that, but it's cut off at the top there, so I don't know how high this thing was. At least 5 stories, which is a little unusual for your typical roadside stop, but an interesting place nonetheless. So maybe somebody has ever seen this or been here when you were younger, or knows somebody that was. That'd be interesting to hear about. But a cool real photo there to end our look at gas stations this week, and I hope you've enjoyed that. Well, we hope you have enjoyed our video. Thanks for being here. Have a good week. And as always, we'll see you next time.